After hearing this story, you'll think twice about getting a green card in America. Can you imagine risking it all, your whole entire life, for the American dream? Sadio was a 25-year-old struggling young man. He'd been job hunting for over 2 years now, was going from company to company, sending his CV and getting no positive response. But he didn't give up. Not only that, he was in a beautiful relationship with 21-year-old Marie, who, unfortunately, depended on him for her upkeep. Every day, every week, every month, he would visit various companies, sharing his CV, hoping to land a job. But the straw that broke the camel's back, he almost got a job at the newspaper company. But he was rejected at the final stage. Why? Because somebody had dug up some old tweets in which he had spoken about the leaders of his country and was disagreeing with them. That was it. That was all. Sadio was so furious, hurt, and so confused by the whole situation that he decided that he loved his home country of Senegal, but he needed to leave. He was going to search for the American dream. So he prayed and fasted and borrowed money and decided to apply for the American lottery system or for a visa application. Days turned into weeks and he prayed without ceasing, and eventually he got it. He was granted an American visa. He then set about to getting an additional loan to be able to buy his plane tickets. When he told Marie, she was not convinced. She was like, does that mean you're going to leave me because you're going to America? What will become of us by our relationship? What will become of me all alone? Sadio said, no, my dear, I love you. I would never leave you. I am doing this for us. I will go to America. I have a cousin who lives there. I will find work and I will bring you there with me. Marie said, okay, then let us make a pact for our forever. The two created a promise, a pact. They put a drop of on a piece of paper containing their name, signature, and their pictures. That paper was then put into a jar, closed and padlocked. Together, they then went and buried it. Sadio and Marie promised each other that they will get there happily ever after in the United States of America. A few months later, Sadio was on a flight and had landed in the US. He lived with his cousin, and his cousin said, look, you need a green card, so I will show you the game, the plan, and how to go about it. But first, here's a work permit, start making some small money. And for a year, Sadio did just that. He earned money, he stayed low, and he was doing well. He would occasionally send some small money back to Marie and tell her that, you know what, he's working on their future. By the time that year was over, Sadio told his cousin and said, look, I'm ready to venture on forward. I'm going to get my own place. How do I go about getting this green card situation? The cousin told him, look, you need to find some white lady to marry, to agree to this so that you will marry. But you guys have to actually stay together for a long time. You have to get to know each other. The immigration questions these days are hard. They will ask you all sorts of stupid questions. You have to be able to pass. So Sadio moved out of his cousin's apartment and he met a woman. Let's call her Cathy, 24-year-old, Caucasian, American, and she was willing to enter into this marriage agreement. She asked for $20,000. Sadio agreed, and you know what? They started building a companionship. They got along very well. They lived in the house together. Everything was going well. Hold up, wait, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Now let's go back to the show. One random day, as Cathy is in the kitchen making a meal and Sadio is in the living room watching a game, he hears a shout. As Cathy is cooking, the kitchen catches on fire. He rushes to her, pulls her away, quenches the fire, and starts talking to her. Are you okay? Comment ça va? T'es sûr? Tout va bien? Mon amour, tu vas bien? I cannot live without you. Are you okay? Are you safe? Should I take you to hospital? Est-ce que t'es sûr que tu vas bien? And in that moment, Cathy was so touched. Those words, she never expected it. Nobody had ever taken care of her like that. Nobody had protected her. And little by little, those words settled into her heart. Cathy started to have real feelings for Sadio. She started to see him as a man he truly was, caring, thoughtful, affectionate. And she was truly seeing that an African man can handle a home. Little did she know that for Sadio, he was just, protecting his investment. He was really just trying to make sure everything was going well. Eventually, Cathy came to Sadio and said, look, it's been on my heart for some time now, but I really want this relationship to be real. And I don't want to have to pay for a green card. I just want us to be in a real relationship. Honestly, Sadio took this as a win. This was his opportunity. He wouldn't have to pay a single dime towards his green card. So he agreed. But all this while, he was still in constant contact and communication with Marie in Senegal. He was telling her that he's working on the plan, that they will soon be together, and he intended that 100%. All he had to do was get his green card. And so several months later, Cathy and Sadio are called in by the immigration. They're tested and asked questions. It was hard. It was a long, arduous process, but it went well. Now, by this time, Sadio and Cathy's relationship was real. They were intimate. They did everything together. They had built connections, and Cathy was truly in love. But now that Sadio had gotten his green card, he knew he had to get the hell out of Dodge. He needed to go and get his one and only true love, Marie. So he told Cathy that, I have to go back to my hometown in Senegal. There's a family emergency, but I will be right back. Cathy, of course, didn't doubt him. She was like, that's fine. That's perfectly okay. You go and come back. Sadio used that opportunity to go to Senegal. What did he do? He married Marie. He said all the sweet, sweet things and told her that, look, I have prepared a place for you. Give me a few months. And he came back to America none the wiser. A few months down the line, he informs Cathy that, my cousin is going to come live with us in Chicago for a few weeks. She just wants to settle, and then, she'll find her footing. Cathy again said, that's no problem, that's fine. A few weeks, that's nothing crazy. So right under her nose, Sadio moved Marie into their house. Now, you see, that's when things started to get a little sticky, because things were not going well. Every time Cathy wanted to be intimate with her husband, Sadio, he would reject her, feel funny, give excuses. Marie, too, was struggling to find time with Sadio. She didn't like seeing him all over Cathy all the time. She was very uncomfortable. But Sadio had a plan. He was going to concoct a reason to divorce Cathy and could finally live happily with Marie. Everything would be settled. But it was not to be. One Saturday afternoon, Cathy had to go to the grocery store and left Sadio and Marie at home alone. Sadio and Marie took this as an opportunity to really embrace their love that they'd been forced to hide. Unfortunately for them, Cathy walked in. She fell to her knees screaming and crying that, how could you? What is this? What is going on? Sadio was distraught. So he reached out to want to comfort her because somewhere, somehow in his heart, he actually felt bad. But Marie wasn't having it. She shouted, what are you going to her for? You don't even love her. And a fight broke out. An argument heated between the three of them, shouting and name-calling. Before you know it, Marie reached out to Cathy to hurt her, and Cathy, in an attempt to protect herself, smacked Marie's head against the ground. Marie fell unconscious, pouring from her head. The neighbors had heard the shouting and screaming and had called the police. Police arrived and all chaos broke loose. Sadio and Cathy were arrested, taken to the police station for questioning. Their case ended up going to court where Cathy pled not guilty. She said she had fought in self-defense. Marie was trying to hurt her. She was eventually released. Sadio, on the other hand, was tried and convicted of bigamy and immigration fraud. He was sentenced to up to 10 years in prison, after which he would be deported back to his own country. Today, that jar that Sadio and Marie put their name, signature, picture, and was found by some illegal miners. Some promises don't end in happily ever after. Some end exactly where they began, buried in the ground, waiting to be found long after the love that created them has. Now that's an entangled web. And that's all I've got for you guys today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at EntangledWebStories. I'll see you every single Saturday for another episode. Bye!